In today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the EFB and what kind of options you have available and you can change in the FlightFactor 777 V2.
Good afternoon. Lufthansa 323, this is ILS monitor.
Approach for runway 18 left.
The EFB itself is pretty easy to find in the flight deck, but maybe that option that you're looking for is not as easy, and that is what this video is all about. This video is about teaching you where you can find all of the necessary options for you, as well as some extra options you may want to change for your airplane. As per every video that we make, on the bottom you'll see the chapters for the different type of options that we'll be covering. So if you want to skip to a certain option or certain menu, you may do so there. Just a little tip, if you would like to pop up the EFB as a separate window, you can simply select the upper right screw, which will give you the window, and the M and the back key are the same keys as the menu and the back key on the actual EFB. So the first and probably most self-explanatory option here we have in the main menu is the airport map. The airport map gives you the airport at which you are, depending on whether or not you have ADRU alignment completed and or if you have your sim brief uplinked. You can select show menu and you can then change the options as you desire. You can center the map. You can recall messages. For example, in this case, the ADRU data is missing, so it does not know where we are at the moment. I can cancel those. I can arm the heading up mode, but that obviously will not work until the ADRU is aligned, and do an airport search if I wanted to. Now that the ADRU is aligned, you can see my airplane is now showing its position on the map. I can center the aircraft, and I can use north up map, which will not allow me to pan around, as you can see. Or I can use heading up, which will allow me to pan around the map as I desire. Next is the briefing tab, and the briefing tab as well as the terminal charts. In order for those menus to work, you need to log in for your Navigraph services. In this case, you need to use your SimBrief username in order to uplink anything for the briefing tab to your flight plan, and you need to connect your Navigraph account in order to use terminal charts. I can select get data from SimBrief, it will process, and will then give me the data for today's flight, Frankfurt to Chicago. Going back to the menu will then enable the briefing tab, where I can select all the different menus or sub-menus for the flight plan that we've created. I can go to flight plan overview. I can see an overview of the flight plan. It also gives you the hint that we're in pounds, in case you are wondering. You can then step through the ICAO flight plan, the nav log, where you can log in your amount of fuel that you have as well as time. Let's say at boot dip, it took more than 25 minutes. I would select 0.27 for example, so I took 27 minutes, and because I took longer time than necessary, I can say that I've burned more fuel than 144.8, so I'm at 143.8. And therefore you can log in the amount of fuel that you're burning and how much you have left, and stay up to date, making sure you may not have a fuel leak. Next we'll go to NOTAMs. You can check the NOTAMs between origin and destination. Weather, you can check the weather between origin, destination, and alternate, again provided to you by SimBrief. And wind data as well, so you can enter in the wind data in the FMC. Weights, again, gives you the hint that we're currently in pounds. We're estimating about 324 passengers. Again, this is the estimated side. This is the maximum structurally allowed side. So we're expecting a takeoff weight of 548.5 and our maximum is 606. So we're below that, which is checked. But fuel gives us a fuel summary, what we are planning to take with us and why. And then we go back to the flight plan overview. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the menu, back to the briefing, and then I have all the tabs again as an overview, and I can simply select which ones I want to review. So the next two tabs is where a lot of confusion may occur. We have the airplane tab as well as the simulation tab. To keep it very simple, the airplane tab has everything to do with the operation of the airplane. So for example, loading the airplane, unloading the airplane, maintenance, and a few more things. We can just quickly take a look at all the things that are available. You can control doors, the ground surfaces, weight and balance, maintenance, pushback, and much more, as well as failures, the walk around procedure, and some extra options for you. We're going to cover this in a separate video where we talk about the weight and balance and how to load, unload the airplane, as well as communicate with the ground personnel and the cabin crew. For now, we're going to continue back to the menu, or go back to the menu, select simulation, and we're going to talk about what simulation covers. Simulation covers basically all of the options that you can change to configure your airplane. For example, you can configure the cabin, the cargo hold, you can change the avionics of the airplane, change graphics, the way you interact with the airplane, crew interaction, how that works, whether you want to do it through voice commands or not, checklist options, and so on and so forth. Similar to the airplane tab, since there are so many different features in the simulations tab, we're going to make a separate video covering all the different options that are available to you to change within the airplane. The next menu that we'll be covering is the documents menu. Here you can view all the different documents that are uploaded to the FlightFactor 777. We do provide you with our manual, cockpit guide, as well as the FCOM that you can review, but you can also upload your own images and PDFs as you desire. I'll cover those here in a moment. Selecting any of these manuals, for example, let's go to FCOM. You can go to all the different pages that you desire. By selecting show menu, you can rotate the PDF as you desire. You can change the fit, either width or fit to page, different history items that you've had, and you can also create a bookmark and view them once you have created some. Go back to the menu, just select document library, and you have all the options available again. So if I want to upload my own images or PDFs to the EFB of the FlightFactor 777V2, it is really simple to do. All you need to do is navigate to your main folder for the Boeing 777-200ER Ultimate. Select the images and or documents you would like to upload to the EFB. Move them into the user document library folder. By doing this, you do not have to restart the simulator, nor do you have to restart the airplane. It is all in real time. So once I did this, you can see I can immediately access my image and also immediately access my PDF. The next menu is really self-explanatory, nothing I'm going to explain. That's pilot utilities. You can just do all kinds of conversions or create a stopwatch, and you can convert different types, for example, speed, length, weight, temperature, volume, pressure, and time zones. And again, the timer stopwatch, you can either do a count up, count down, or alert on completion. Since we'll be making a video talking about how to load and unload the airplane, we will not be covering simplified loading in this video. Shortcuts gives you shortcuts to the different positions of the airplane. For example, if I wanted to go to doors 2, I simply click doors 2. You can see we're now in between doors 2. And you can do this with any view that is listed here. The last option that we can select is called Initialize Flight. An initialized flight in the real airplane clears search results of all previous searches in all applications and functions restored to default settings, crossloads from FMC applicable data if it has been entered in the FMC, and changes the menu to Close Flight, as you can see here. Close Flight can no longer be selected during flight. So that is the quick and simple overview of the EFB and all the different options that are available, besides covering airplane and simulations. Those will be covered in separate videos as they go into more detail and have quite a few things that need to be covered. If you guys have any other questions or comments, please let us know and we'll be happy to help you out.